Okay, last lesson already of this unit. Again, it was super short. Talking about net worth and debt to income ratio. So again, this is kind of in the context of budgeting, and that we're talking about how much money you have, as well as how much of your budget, because that's your income, is going towards your debt, because that is a big deal. If most of your income is going toward paying off your debts, well, then it's not going towards fun things or saving up for your future or anything like that. So it's important in the context of budgeting to talk about these two things. So these questions, unfortunately, are very simple, and I should have already had this pulled up as always, but we have our two last formulas we're going to use on the formula sheet. Both net worth and debt to income are on that formula sheet, so it's loading right now. So here is net worth. It's super simple. We just subtract. Debt to income ratio, we divide. Anything that says net, by the way, guys, is going to be a subtraction type thing. We've talked about net pay, which is your gross pay minus your taxes, right? Net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. And again, this being debt to income ratio, a ratio is a fraction, which is why we're dividing there. So we'll come back to that though in just a little bit. Let's look at this question. So Liam Brown is single in his mid-20s and owns a condo in a big city. He's calculated the following assets and liabilities. Wow, this is a lot, right? Now again, assets are all positive things. Notice this says current value of the condo, balance in his checking account, current balance in retirement account. So these are all positives, right? An asset is a good thing. So this is all the money that he has or something that he can sell to get money, right? You can sell the house to get this money, or you can sell the car to get this money, yeah. So a liability, though, is not necessarily a bad thing. Remember that liable just means you're responsible. So liabilities are things you are responsible to pay back, which is why they are debts, right? These are negatives. Remaining balance owned on the home. So even though the house is worth this much, he still owes that much on it. So if he sold the house, he wouldn't get all of this money because he still has to pay back the rest of that loan, yeah? He's got student loans here and then credit card debt. So these are all negatives. So it says, what is Mr. Brown's net worth? So again, net worth is all of your positives minus all of your negatives. So all we need to do here, it's really simple. We're going to find the total assets and the total liabilities because net worth is assets minus liabilities. So I'm going to write that over here. Assets minus liabilities. So I want you to take a moment and be very careful, guys. This question is so easy. Liabilities. But if you hit a 0 wrong in your calculator, you're going to get the wrong answer. So go ahead and add up all of these numbers here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Add up these three separately, right? We're going to do this chunk and this chunk, and then come back and compare and see if we are getting the same thing. Again, as you're going, guys, for example, on the 580,000, that's 4 zeros, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would go on my calculator, 5, 8, and then as I hit the 0 button, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get the right number of zeros. Go ahead and try it. Okay, so for this top one, you should have gotten 6, 6, 3, 5, 80. If you did not, go back and double check. You probably just hit a 0 wrong or hit a number wrong somewhere. For the second one, 1, 2, 3, plus 51. 1, 2, 3, plus 1, 6, 1, 2. We've got 4, 3, 2, 600. So again, it's super easy, guys, to make a mistake, but this question is also very easy anyway. So be very careful. If you add wrong, you're going to get it wrong. So be careful. So these are all the positives. Minus all the negatives, that's all we got to do, subtract, right? 6, 6, 3, 580. Minus 4, 3, 2, 600. So this is going to be the net worth, excuse me. 6, 6, 3, 580 minus 4, 3, 2, 600. So this person's net worth is 2,309.80. So this is their actual worth. Yes, they have all of this money, but they also have all of these debts, right? This is why rich people can go bankrupt. Just because you have a big house and you constantly have money coming in, doesn't mean you're actually worth that much if you're up to your ears in debt, which is the case for some rich people, why they have to declare bankruptcy or why some companies declare bankruptcy. You can have all of the money in the world, but if you're also in debt with all of the money in the world, you're not actually worth as much, right? Let's go ahead. I want you guys to try it one more time. Same thing on this one. We have the assets with the liabilities. Go ahead and add the assets together, add the liabilities, and then subtract the two numbers. Okay, this top one, we got 1,837.80. And the bottom one, we got 132,600. So when we subtract these two, we have assets minus liabilities, 1,837.80 minus 132,600. We should get 51,180, 183. Yep. Okay, so that is again their actual net worth. And again, try and think about it as if they sold everything they owned and pulled all the money out of their bank account and then paid all of their debts off. This is how big of a swimming pool they could get, filled with cash. They've paid off all their debts. This is actually really all of what they're worth because they have these debts they still have to pay off. Okay, so now talking about debt to income ratio. So one of the differences between net worth and debt to income ratio is that net worth is talking about all of everything, right? We talked about the entire home loan here. We talked about the entire value of the car, how much money you just have total. But debt to income specifically refers to the monthlies. Looking on a monthly basis, how much of your income is going towards paying off your debts monthly. So if you notice, here's all the debts. These are all, again, on a monthly basis. Here's all the income. This is, again, on a monthly basis, how much money is coming in. This is something banks will also look at to determine if they want to give you a loan. If your debt to income ratio is too high, that means that, again, you're paying too much money towards your debts. Why would they want to give you another debt? Why would they want to give you another loan if you're already paying so much towards your debts? Now, it's going to work out the same way, though, where we need to add each column together. Here's all the debts. Here's all the incomes. But again, this is now a ratio, and the formula is to divide because we're talking about a percentage of how much of your income is going towards paying off your debts. So go ahead and add these, and we'll come back and check. Okay, over here I got 3,400, 7,800 plus 880 plus 120. And over here I got 82. Okay, so this is the two numbers I got. Double check yours. So again, debt to income ratio, debt to income, this is the top over the bottom. So be careful. Debt goes on top, income goes on bottom, right? So this 3,400 is going to go on top because that's the debts. And then this is going to go on bottom because that's the income. And again, this is a formula, monthly debt over monthly income. Now, this is going to give us a decimal, but we want to show it as a percentage. So 3,400 divided by 8,300. So as a decimal, this is 0.41. Yeah, it's 0.409, that round to 0.41. So hopefully you can see what this is as a percent. But remember, guys, if we divide a percent by 100 to get to a decimal, we just go in reverse and multiply it by 100. So multiplying this by 100 gives us 41%. But hopefully, again, really, you should be able to see that. So here's what this means. This means 41% of their income is going towards paying off their debts. That's pretty high. Now, I will say, actually, though, something to take into consideration is that part of it is their house. A lot of times when banks are looking at if they want to give you a loan or not, just on something that's not a house, they take into consideration, well, 25% of this probably is going to be your house, right? That's okay. It's okay if 25% of your income is going towards paying for your house, right? We talked about that at the beginning of the housing unit. So this really isn't too bad considering, however, still pretty high. If you want to be in a really good position, you want to have less than 15%. Usually what that means is you have a very low payment for your house or you've paid it off, right? So debt to income ratio, all you need to do is add the debts, add the incomes, and divide. Make sure you do write your answer as a percent in the end. Okay, trying this one now. Well, this is the only income we have. These are the only debts we have. Careful, guys. Sometimes you're just not paying attention. You're just not thinking, yeah? This is the income. This is the debt. It's debt over income. So be careful which number goes on top. Go ahead and try this. Okay, well, obviously that 3,500 is already good to go because that's the only income they have. They don't have any other income. And this is 2,100. So here's the formula, debt over income. You guys make these little mistakes because you're literally not thinking. You just go, this number, sweet, good. These are the debts. Yes, I understand they give you this number first. Those aren't your debts. Income, right? This 2,100, that goes on top. And 3,500 goes on bottom. You guys should not be getting a number bigger than 1. Good Lord God. This is 0.6. If you get a number bigger than 1, you probably flipped the fraction the wrong way. So 0.6, hopefully once again you can see what that is as a percent, but multiply it by 100. This is not 6%. That would be 0.06, right? This is 60%. So this is a pretty high percentage. Again, that 1,100 should be at most 25%. This is a lot of money going towards paying off your debts. What this means is they only have 40% of their income left over to pay for food, to pay for gas, to pay for anything else they need to, right? This isn't a lot of stuff. So this is a pretty high percentage. This is where it's going to feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck because so much of your money is going towards paying off your debts instead of paying for the things that actually give you something, right? So very easy lesson, I hope. Just be careful with the assets and liabilities of double checking your numbers because if you plug the number in wrong, you get the question wrong and that's frustrating. And then for debts and income, just being careful, which one's the debt, which one's the income, the debt goes on top.